Good evening, and welcome to the Oakdale Parks and Recreation Commission. It is September 19th, 2023. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, roll call. Just Glenn Berth is gone at this time. Everyone else is here. Councilman, thanks for coming. Let's get right on to the approval of minutes. Everybody get a chance to look at last month's? Questions, concerns? Can I get a motion to?
I'll motion it.
Jan,
I'll second.
Second. Mark, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Minutes are approved. Thank you. Next, we have the old business. Julia, would you like to go through the commission work plan draft?
Yeah, thanks, Commissioners. So I did, based on our workshop last month, I put together everything we did discuss, and this is what I've come up with as far as a draft plan for us, for the work plan. So I'm just looking for any thoughts on this, anything you'd like to see added, or anything you didn't like.
I think that's exactly of how we went through it, and I don't see right now anything that I could add.
No, but I think it really is a step in the right direction.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, in the meantime, then, between now and our next meeting, if you come up with anything, certainly call me or email me, and we can add this to the work plan, and we'll get that on the agenda next month again. Sound okay?
Yeah. Was there anything you or Jeff thought we should add?
No, looks good, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right,
We're all good.
Okay, good.
perfect, all right. We good with that? Let's hop into new business. New commissioners update. Where are the commissioners?
All right, yes, yes, hopefully they're coming. So we've got 3 of them on the agenda for the council workshop on the 26th. So they will be interviewed, and hopefully we will have 2 in place by the next meeting or the following. So we're getting there.
So, like 2 or 3 is what you're looking at?
We're interviewing 3, we have 2 openings.
2 openings,
Yep.
right. Okay. Is there any other new business? I believe so. All right. Let's go to Jeff. What do you got?
Yeah, good evening. Just fall sports are still, the season's moving along. Weather's been great, cooperative. We've had very minimal closures as far as rain, which we could use. So that's good. And then we'll be starting shortly, probably within the next week. We're going to start, we won't do the athletic field areas, but we'll start aerating and overseeding some areas. And then once the soccer wraps up, then we'll start on the athletic field areas and pulling some plugs and doing some overseeding. And then also the crews will start within the next week or 2. Hate to say it, but we'll start winterizing irrigation system and buildings. So it's coming. I hope it's far away, but
Around the corner.
we got to be ready for it. So, yeah, we're just plugging away. So it was, today I didn't have a crew. They were all out. They were doing salt training for plowing.
Oh,
So
Salford.
what does that tell you?
Oh, no. It is.
So it's here. I mean, it's went by already. And
Was that the stuff out at the fairgrounds?
no, it was down in Cottage Grove today.
I
So,
saw that off of Como too. They had
Yep.
all the stuff
yep,
out
so they have to go through it, run the equipment, and they require it, so. But it's like, already, it's only September, and it's 80 degrees out.
Guess again, it figures you have to do that stuff.
So other than that, if you guys have any questions, that's all really I have. I don't have a whole lot, so.
How has the athletics been at the fields? Any confrontations? with
I haven't heard of any,
Okay,
you know.
So that's been good.
as long as they had their permits, whatever. I was afraid we were gonna run into that, so we did last year a couple places. I don't know, Mark, maybe you could, I don't know if you have any that you know about, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, besides Skyview being on our permit and not being able to use it, it it is what it is, and just a few disgruntled coaches and that.
Well, when you say permit now, is it their ball fields, or because we don't have control over all their athletic field area?
I have to look at the wording. I don't know if it's just ball fields. Or
I
if
think it's, yeah.
it's just ball fields, probably.
I don't think it's their entire athletic field area. We don't own that. They own
Right,
that.
right.
So I was just told that they were using the area we needed was going to be utilized for their sports team. So I can't override the district. It's not our property. So
Just
if anything changes, I'd be
borrow
more than
once in a
happy to help.
while. All right, all right. Any other questions for Jeff? Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Julie?
Thanks, Commissioner. So we do have a couple updates on a few events that we had in September. Touch a Truck recap was held last Tuesday. We had vehicles from Public Works, Fire, Police Department, and a variety of others. We also provided free ice cream. We do that every year. And the Maple Oakdale Lions Club provided concessions. So thanks to Glenn, he's not here tonight, but in the Lions, I know they had a good night selling concessions. I think they ran out of hot dogs once again, which is great. I think they went through 300, he said. Yeah, so impressive. And then again, thanks to Public Works, Jeff, Fire, Police Department, they always make this a really great community event, and you could see that with the great turnout that we had. It was nice, then it got a little misty, and I think we just missed the storm, so we
Yeah.
lucked out on that, but
I'll just echo on Julie. It's a great event. She does a great job with that, organizing it. And it's cool to see the kids, and
Absolutely.
it seemed, I had several people tell us it seemed bigger this year. So I don't know if we
yeah,
had
we
any.
did have a few more vehicles.
Yeah,
We
it was
did.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
was,
The weather was perfect with the little mist we had. It was still a perfect night for it. So
Yeah, it's nice to see the community come out and celebrate the event with us. We've got Farmers Market slowly winding down. We've only got 4 markets left, so we're getting down there. We've got the fall products coming in for the season. Our market coordinator, Nathan Timmons, he'll start transitioning to the indoor market season, and that will begin on November 11th at the Discovery Center, so that'll be here soon. Another big event we just did, the Family Fun Inflatables, and that was this past Saturday at Walton, and that was from 11 to 4. Another great turnout, and the weather really was perfect that day. It was great. Had a really great turnout for that one as well. We had a total of 12 inflatables, 6 sponsors, and the Tartan Boosters provided concessions, and I know they ran out of all of their concessions as well, so it was a really good turnout. And then a thank you to our sponsors. The gold sponsor was Oakdale Athletic Association, the American Legion Post, 39. Silver was New Horizon Academy, and bronze was Marcus Theaters, North Star Skate School, East Metro Stars Hockey, and Parkview Chiropractic. So thanks again for our sponsors with that event. We've got Oakdale Wellness, and Jan may speak to this, but we've got an event coming up, the flu clinic, and that is with Walgreens, and they're hosting the flu clinic at the Discovery Center, and that is on Saturday, September 30th, and that's from 11 to 2 at the Discovery Center. No registration is necessary. You can just show up and participate at that event. And then our Oakdale update, the fall-winter Oakdale update is now available online, and it is expected to arrive in mailboxes this week. So it's a little earlier than what we anticipated, which is great news. And then our Discovery Center Beehive, which won the blue ribbon at the Washington County Fair and 3 Minnesota State Fair ribbons. And congrats to our beekeepers, Karen and Dwayne Voy. So nice job
cool.
for them. Very cool.
yeah, that is very nice.
Yep, they were really excited about that, so it was nice to see.
You ever get a chance to taste it?
I didn't taste that, but there were some that did
Yeah.
at our bee extraction event, yeah. And then lastly, we've got our MEA Amped Up Entertainment, and that'll be coming in October. We're doing a special fall edition of that event, and that'll be Thursday, October 19th from 10 to 11, and that's during the MEA break again. We've got the Rad Zoo coming, bringing their Radical Reptile Adventure program, and they've got snakes and lizards, turtles, and an alligator. So we haven't done them before, so that'll be exciting to see something
Great
new.
idea to
Yeah,
have something during that week.
definitely, absolutely. So that is all I have. I'll stand for any questions if anybody's got anything, any comments.
I just have a comment
Yeah.
on that family fun inflatables
Yes.
when I was there. It was pretty
Yes.
cool. A lady walks up and she comes up to Julie and goes, "Is this free?" Yeah, it's free. And she was just like, "Really?"
Yeah.
So she yells over to her husband, "Hey!" And that's great. I think people should know that
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that it's free when we do
And
that.
the
People are very
sponsors are good to
appreciative.
do that.
That's wonderful. And you did do a great job. Excellent job. So, yeah, it's very nice. Any questions for Julie? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners' comments. I'll start. We did go on a couple of park tours since last time. Saturday, August 19th, we went to Gulfville, Furlong, Northdale, the Bard Park in Oakfield. And at Gulfville, we had some very nice families that showed up. Great input, and we appreciate that. We hope more of this happens, whether when we're out and about or you just want to email any of us or to let us know what's going on. And, you know, we're not going to get specifics on these. We sent them into the staff and we'll work on them. And there's just things we can do to improve on some of the parks. And it's some maintenance stuff, but that is continually done, so that, you know, and they're, of course, they're gonna say that, and that's fine, but that's what we need to hear. And we did see some spots that we could possibly have for T-ball and OAA and other youth things that could be multi-use in these parks. And especially with Gulfview, I think when we come to deciding which parks we want to work on, that one's going to be moved up in our aspect, because we've all talked about that. Because we found out that there's a lot of younger families out there, and they want to use it, but it's not for each age. And I think that's something we can look at and do. So with minimal, you know, funding maybe. And we looked at Northdale. And while I'm on Northdale, and there's a couple other parks that we actually would like to know, in the long run, what are we gonna do with them? Are they sustainable? Are they gonna be used? We ran to a tot lot this last Saturday, and Glenn and Jan talked to a neighbor, and she's right next to this lot, and she doesn't even use it, and she has little kids. And
This is
so,
Tilly.
or Tilly Tot Lot, yeah. So, and that one would be, you know, we need to upgrade that swing, if, you know, if we can, but is that gonna change then? So there's certain things, do we put the money into it, or do we figure out something else to do with it? So this is something we have to look into on some of these parks. Are they gonna be used if we do throw money and try to improve it? If they're not, then we should take the funding and work on other parks. So as we move on, I think we'd like to pinpoint which parks those are and have a really good discussion and see how we move forward with those parks. But overall, and I have one more thing I'd like to say. Overall, they're in really good shape, honestly. You know, we have so many parks here, and we have limited people to take care of these parks. And so that's something that needs to be addressed. And, you know, these are just comments from us as members of this commission and as residents of this city. So this is something that we just want to put out there. There was at Guthrie Park was another one. We had comments on all the grass on all these parks are just really good. But we went to this one, and it looked not as good, I will just say that way. And maybe Councilman can talk about that a little bit when we get there. But other than that, I'm gonna put a plug in for the Parks and Rec. Jeff and Julie, they're doing a great job, but I think more funding overall for the Parks and Rec could be great. So those are my comments. Thank you, Jan.
Yeah, I was just going to say thank you, Steve, for organizing the park tours, 2 of them I thought was really beneficial, because we as the commissioners really get hands-on knowledge of what's going on at these parks, what really needs done, what can maybe wait. It's just really good to have Julie and Andy at those 2, and, you know, have the neighbors come out and talk to us. It just makes us a community that really are, you know, there for, you know, the kids and, well, adults using those parks.
Right,
Yeah.
great. Thank you. Glenn?
I echo what Jan have said. You know, really, it always kind of amazes me for the size of city this is. We have a really large number of parks. And, you know, and so kudos to you guys to try to maintain all of these. It's a daunting task, especially when you don't have necessarily the personnel to really, or the money necessarily to be able to do the things you'd like to do. And one of the things we've discussed among the commission here is that maybe to try to help a little bit is when we have new commissioners on board, is start to look at each commissioner taking a little bit, kind of pretty much what we've done this last couple of times with looking at the parks, that we would choose parks that we'd have responsibility for to go look at a little bit more frequently. And so when we have new commissioners on board, we'll see how we can maybe parcel that out and you know, just be able to help with Jeff's job and your job with, you know, if we see some things that maybe need to be addressed that might not be done on a timely basis, that at least we can alert that, well, hey, we saw this here, or we saw that there, or hey, this is working great. And in fact, we were talking about even at Guthrie, the grass might have been so good, but boy, the basketball court that was redone is great.
Yeah,
It's
that was
really
really
nice. So anyway, but just things like that we can maybe help with awareness of what might be happening with some of these parks. So it's something we look forward to doing here in the future.
Thanks, Glenn. Mark?
I just wanted to again say thank you to Jeff and his staff, especially like for the touch a truck and that. I know that's a longer day for you guys, you know, bringing all the equipment up and then bringing it all back.
It's fun to be there.
I know.
Julie does a
But
great
it's a
job
longer
with
day
it.
for you guys and, you know, Julie coming with us on the park tours and then, you know, working the inflatables and the touch a truck and, you know, it's all extra work for you guys and we appreciate that.
I'm old, we never had that when I was little. So it's cool. It's
is.
cool to see that the kids have that now.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a great deal. Yeah. I echo that. Thank you guys so much for the behind-the-scenes work y'all do that no one notices, so thank you.
That's it.
All right. Okay, very good. Councilmember Morcomb. Hey.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you all again. So yeah, a few updates, and it was great to go on the park tours. I went to a few parks that I'd never been to before, which is good, but I do want to definitely address the comments that you all brought up as a commission, right? So your feedback's really important to us as a council, so we can decide what makes sense, how do we fund going forward, what parks look like in Oakdale. And you know, the comment you made about just make sure we have enough staff to maintain these is certainly well taken, right? We've got 3 new parks coming up at Willowbrook. The Bus Rapid Transit along 4th Street, the small area plan has another park allocated for that. for new parks and sizable parks at that, right? And this could have been shared in the past, Jeff and Julie, but it'd be actually really helpful to see if there's some kind of an equation for so many parks or so much, acreage of parkland, this is how many staff it takes to manage it. And then it helps us make sure, are we ahead, are we behind? Do we need to budget accordingly once these parks are going to open in the future so we can make sure that we're taking care of the resources we have? So that would be great for us as a council to have, absolutely. And then Guthrie Park too, we mentioned the grass there. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the one park where we were trying a new fertilizer. Is that right?
Yep, correct.
And so I have to admit, I haven't been to that park, even though I've got friends that live right alongside it. I haven't been through the park until we just did this tour. So in your opinion, Jeff, has the grass been any different with the new fertilizer?
I don't think it's as thick as it's been in the past, but however, we've had a drought. We've been in a tough summer we've had very little rain. So, we've struggled everywhere. So, to be fair with that plays a big part of it too, so.
Sure, and it could have been too, we went to Garden View and Tower Park, and I thought it was a golf course we were walking on too. So, and sometimes when you start with new turf and a less used park, right, it stays a lot better. But just something I noticed, because that'll come up in conversation. We've got a year of this new fertilizer, the organic fertilizer, they were trying to see if it had a good impact or if what we were doing before is really the best option. A few other updates. Last time we were here, we talked about the trails at the new Commons Park in Willowbrook, the asphalt trails, biking and walking, and those are pretty much done. I took my bike around it. There's a couple of connection points where the road meets the trail that they're still finishing up. So I do warn anybody that's out there, be careful. There's some cones out, but they're not totally finished, but it's close, which is good. And then 36th Street is one of the roads that's being worked on still, right? So the asphalt layer, I believe, is scheduled to be put on later this week, early next. So we've had some residents in the new neighborhood asking, all the equipment's been cleared away, and it's been a month, what's going on? Well, even I learned in the process, they let it settle for a number of weeks to make sure there aren't sinkholes that form. So that'll be finished up soon, which is good. And the last update is nothing formal yet. We've got our Norhart apartments down off that bus rapid transit line in 4th Street. We have had developers coming forward. They haven't submitted any formal applications, but there's more and more interest around the land there. So that future potential park is certainly something that's being looked at as they look at the zoning and what businesses come in, what apartment buildings based on the plan. So lots is happening, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Little Oakdale. We're not little Oakdale anymore.
Not so small.
We're moving up. All right. Any questions? Nope. Andy at all? All right. Great. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. I think we're all good.
Can I
So
just
can I?
mention one thing that
Sure.
under Wellness 50 Plus, October 7th, which is a Saturday, from 10 to noon, we are doing a police and fire department crime and fire prevention. And so I just wanted to welcome everybody to come to that if you're interested, and you can sign up under the Oakdale Wellness 50 new at gmail.com.
Thank you. All right. Good. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
All motion.
Jan, second?
I'll second.
Where? All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. We are adjourned. Thank you very much and have a good evening.